under the traditional information systems, such as databases and tables and registries and all that. So, every one of us, in our lifetime, we're going to generate as much as 1 million gigabytes of information. That is, think about this, a gigabyte is 890,000 pages of information. And we're going to produce 1 million gigabytes in our lifetimes. So we're going to produce more information about everything that you know, that you're not aware of that information, such as medical information, such as activity information, such as taste, conduct, purchasing.
Well, I mean,
3D printing?
So right, I mean, we defined it to include a whole host of different things. So regenerating organs and other tissues, I think, holds tremendous promise, and I think we're seeing a lot of investment there. I can't comment on what's happening in the region. Maybe Maroon can do that, but I think clearly in Europe and the U.S., I mean, it's not, I mean, obviously I was talking about oncology, but some of the first approved products in Europe were for other indications, and Rosanna is very familiar with one of them, the Tygenix product, Consulate, and maybe she can comment on that. But there are, you know, I think there are a number of different applications, and in cell therapy, you know, I think, you know, as we're talking about autologous, I mean, adult stem cells and MSCs, I think, you know, we will see also data emerging from a number of trials over the next 2 or 3 years, which I think will be very important. I mean, we have not seen necessarily a steady stream of positive data, and I think it would be naive to assume that all of it is going to be positive. There will be setbacks, but I think in the end, we're really making progress.
Basic project costs $10,000 to $15,000 only in the biomaterial. And you have to add to this cells, and we're talking about, you want to regenerate a cartilage, we're talking about 100 to 300 million cells that you need to put in that material. We're talking about a mini here, we didn't do a human size here, I would say a hobbit here. So this is where we put 300 million cells, and of course it was just a proof of principle. Then we stopped. They said, okay, let's see what's happening. And with the leaders of 3D printing, we went to talk to Organova in California, in San Diego. We went to Stratasys in Israel, and we talked, as of course, to our collaborator James Hugh in Atala and Wake Forest, and all of them have this problem. 3D printing using a bioink, which is a biomaterial where you want to put your cells. It's a different story than printing something like a prosthesis in plastic or material that can be used. So therefore, we went back. This is something we'll be presenting tomorrow. My company told. We went back and looked at the research. So I mentioned about salmon and copper, and then we talked to the salmon farms, and they actually the skin they throw it away. We processed the skin and we made a gelatin out of salmon. As a breakthrough, we got this year, and now we're using it as a biomaterial for the 3D printing. And we went back to Stratasys and offered them this example. So now we're working with them, and we're not working on printing ears or noses anymore. We're working on pushing the fields. And this can happen when you go back and look at your resources. This project, doing salmon, if I was in Singapore, France they don't use salmon, so I have to be in Chile. Chile is the second biggest producer of salmon after Norway. So again, this goes back to the question: what are the opportunities that are open here that are unpresent? If you want to compete with companies in the U.S., you have to have an advantage, and this is exactly what we're looking for.
Yes.
But to have, and it does not have to be the head of R&D, it's your champion. You simply need a project director, someone who's deeply involved in the day-to-day projects. You know, bigger companies have anywhere from 100 to 300 different projects going on at any one time, and there's a natural evolution and a constant turnover in those projects.
have come through those type of incentives to Puerto Rico.
Mrs. Johnson.
The venture we started 5 years ago in Chile, it's called Software, but as well we have another company called Regenero. So we're talking about regenerative medicine in Chile. This is an overlap of Chilean map. Chilean think they are isolated geographically because we have the mountains from one side, the ocean from the other side, but it's a very, very long country. We will start in Canada and end up in Mexico, and this gives a lot of different landscape of the country, starting from the driest desert to the Patagonian glacier, and even the Easter Island that is part of the country as well. So what we're trying to do is a regenerative medicine ecosystem. We went to Silicon Valley where we had specific training for how to bring your technology, your therapies to the market through a program called Go to Market. And we decided to create in Chile, and specifically in our campus, similar to what you guys have in California, and then we're going to call it Silicon Valley. And so the Silicon Valley, this is our campus, stands for the university, the two different spin-off companies. We have a new company, Lifing, I will be talking about. And then as well we have a new hospital that opened its doors only 2 years ago, where we have our facility, and I'm talking about clean room, cell sorting facility, 3D bioprinting and bioengineering, general labs, and as well a specific animal facility for our preclinical study. Everything is good, but then you require resources, and having access to capital in Latin America is not as easy as in the US, so you have to do a lot of networking, and as well look for policy grants. So not only apply for a grant, but then ask them to create grants specific for your needs. And we were able to successfully raise $31 million since 5 years from now. We have 12 preclinical research lines, mostly now all published, and then we were able to fight for 10 international patents at different levels. So what we do, our portfolio was very focusing on therapies using stem cells. We're talking about a completed clinical trials in dilated cardiomyopathy, osteoarthritis, and we're initiating different clinical trials. This looks exciting, but then we had the pressure from investor, and then we need to go and then show that we're able to license technology faster than the timeline of therapies. This is why we had a strategic shift, and we moved not only doing therapies now, we're doing devices that I will comment on in this presentation. So first we start with the cells. This is our core business. We publish preclinical studies identifying specific type of cell within the placenta, talking about post-birth tissue, where we look for haploidentical and we compare them. And then we move to the clinic after the preclinical studies published. We give this product, it's umbilical cord mesenchymal stem cells, so isolated from the umbilical cord, not the cord blood, but the umbilical cord. And then we give them a commercial name called Celistem, where we have 2 different clinical trials. One was completed last year, where we submitted this for publication in Circulation, where we had a very interesting income on the patient. We're talking about intravenous injection, so it's a non-invasive injection of 1 million per kilo of allogeneic quality controlled cells. So this means we're having the same batch being injected to more than 1 patient. In this case, it was the whole cohort of 34 patients. So our next...
And speaking will be Damaso Molero.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to attend my presentation. I will try to be as short as possible, knowing that this is the last day and everybody is very tired and trying to go back home as soon as possible. Okay? So, 3P is a CDMO, as a CMO company to develop a process mainly, and the reason why I'm here, of course, is trying to identify potential clients, but also to identify potential partners. Very important for us to identify and to collaborate with others to develop technology, to develop process, to provide the best service to our clients. I will explain to you during the presentation. So 3P, as I said, is a contract development and manufacturing organization, okay, specializing in manufacturing and developing process of biological products, okay, for early discovery to the market. I will speak later. So we are involved in the whole value chain. We have capacities and capabilities to develop process at early stages for proof of concept. Also, we can move through the value chains for preclinical trials, clinical trials, submission, and also marketing or market activities. So it involves a lot of different technologies and different capacities that you can see here, and I think that you are aware about that. So 3P is a biosafety level 2 organizer according to the European standards. We have the authorization of as a pharmaceutical laboratory, and we are a GMP certification for clinical trials, for APA for the market, and also for finished product as well. Our stakeholder structure is quite stable. It's an important long-term approach of the stakeholders. Since the last 2 years, Infarco takes 51% of our company. Infarco is a very important pharmaceutical industrial group in Spain, mainly in the generic field, now with a new strategy for the biotech sector. Additionally, as very important stakeholders, Sovena it means our local government. So